Broadcasting from Cincinnati, you're listening to the Ringside Reporter Podcast. All the news from the world of boxing right here.
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you.
Now, here's your host, Eric Lorda.
And we are live. Welcome to the Ringside Reporter Show, where we talk about the latest boxing news. If it's related to boxing, we'll talk about it right here. My name is Eric Lorta, and I'm here with my co-host, Joe Habib, and we got a great show for you today. And if you want to call in, 570-530-8316. Beeb, Michigan's going to the Final Four. How about that?
Are you happy about that?
I love it. I love it. I love it. I used to live in Detroit. I used to live in Detroit.
Now you used to live in Detroit.
Now I used to live in Detroit. That's right.
Me too. I lived there for
No.
I lived there for like 3 weeks.
You lived there for like 3 weeks. No, you didn't. What's the matter with you? We're going to the Final Four. I know Montero's happy about it. Me and Montero, we always root for the Detroit teams.
He's from Detroit.
Oh, get off it. What's the matter with you?
Got to show him some respect.
Get it together. Anyway, I will. So I won't tell him what you said earlier. You don't think I heard? You were on tape, buddy. You were on cam. PBC pay-per-view. We're going to get started with it. The big one, Sebastian Fondora versus Keith Thurman. The WBC junior middleweight title. Wow. This was, not good. Not good.
This was a very one-sided fight.
To say the least.
And I know both of us, I'm going to speak for you. We were hoping that we were going to be wrong. Because we anticipated this, and we were just crossing our fingers hoping it wouldn't happen. But this was even more one-sided than I anticipated.
I didn't see this either. I didn't see this one coming, man. I mean, he smashed Keith Thurman. And 6th round. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, when Sebastian Fondora fights the way he fought in this fight and the second Tim Tszyu fight, I don't care what anyone says. He's going to be hard to beat. And this isn't just me with the halo effect.
I'll tell you what, man. Let me tell you this. He's one of those guys, and we talk about this all the time from time to time. Yep. He's one of those guys that get better when they get the title. They just elevate, and that's where he is. He's definitely gotten better.
He's legitimately gotten better.
Yeah, absolutely. Sebastian Fondora smashed Keith Thurman with a 6th round TKO. This one was a one-way beating from the opening bell. Like, at no point was Keith ever in this fight. What was he, 38 last night?
Something like that, 37, 38.
He was 37, 38 years old. Listen, man, that didn't help him. He looked every bit of that age, too.
Yeah.
And the other thing, the layoffs, they didn't help him either, man. Fondora was able to have his way on the inside, the outside, anywhere he wanted to be. Keith was batted around in the 6th round, causing the fight to be stopped. After the fight, this was crazy. Did you see the interview after the fight in the locker room or whatever? Or in the
I did.
You got to be kidding me. So he comes out there and says, he claimed he wasn't in any trouble. The fight was just starting to heat up. All right, man. I would be shocked if Keith Thurman fights again, even though he said, I will fight again. And I'm going to tell you something else. I wouldn't be messing with Clarissa Shields either if I'm Keith. I'm going to tell you that right now. Because Clarissa Shields came out and said, hey, I can beat Keith Thurman. I thought she was full of it. I was like, I saw her get knocked out by that sparring partner and everything. After seeing Thurman last night, it's a 50-50 fight to me.
Next topic.
Oh my goodness. This was bad. So did Keith Thurman, he couldn't move last night. He couldn't pull the trigger. When he did pull the trigger, like the announcers went nuts, and I have things to say about that in the end, but the announcers, would go nuts every time he landed, but he just landed a shot, and they were all they weren't shots. They weren't.
Nothing he landed was earth-shattering.
No.
Nothing.
No.
And it because he had to reach so much to land the shot, it wasn't like he was really making full impact with those shots. But anytime you're right. Anytime he touched him, grazed Fondora, those guys were having orgasms, man. It was ridiculous.
Oh, it was insane, right? I mean, they were all over him, they tried to make it sound like it was an action fight, and it wasn't an action fight at all. It was a one-way drubbing. That's what it was. And Where did I mean? And Keith said in the press conference or whatever, he's going to fight again. This is definitely he's still got a lot more fight left in him. Blah blah blah. Who's he going to fight?
Well, here's the thing.
That you could actually get. Would you favor him against anybody right now?
No. If you're gonna hang around because you're just gonna fight mid-level guys,
that's all you're gonna do.
Then like, what champion is gonna fight him now?
No,
you know what I mean. After that, and this is no disrespect. Listen, he fought courageously. He had a lot of heart last night, and I understand what you're saying, and you're 1,000% correct. There was no way he's winning the fight, and from the outside looking in, listening to those comments, they're incredulous because no one saw what he was describing. But these guys are prideful guys.
I get it.
They just don't want to admit defeat.
Nobody
right?
wants to get beat up in front of
look at
the
Wilder.
25 people that were there. Right. That's a great example. Yeah.
Wilder got beat from pillar to post in that second fight with Fury, and his corner showed some caringness about him, right? They showed a little bit of empathy for him, and they pulled him out because they cared about his health. And this guy flipped out. The things he said about Mark Breland after that. So, again, this is common in the sport of boxing where these guys just think they can go on even when they're getting the hell kicked out of them. And I've never been one of those guys that, let him go out on the shield. No, because I've seen too much. Dooku Kim, Gerald McClellan, so many in the history of boxing. Like you don't leave that ring the same way you went into it, So what are you going to do?
37.
37,
Which
yeah.
is ancient.
And here's the thing. And this is why I keep going back to this, and I sound like a fanboy. But again, certain fighters,
such a fanboy.
Certain fighters I am a fanboy for. There's like 2 fighters that I am. And Crawford's one of them. I mean, Crawford at 38 with 2 banged up shoulders. And those shoulders were banged up because not too far after that Canelo fight did he get surgery on both. He got surgery on one of them before the Canelo fight, probably like 6 to 8 months before. And then he just got surgery on the other one. So people want to talk about, Canelo wasn't in his prime. Neither was this guy. This guy retired immediately after the fight. Well, not immediately, but pretty close, damn near close to immediately, because his body was breaking down. And he went into the fight with coming off of shoulder surgery, and the other shoulder was banged up. So that's why you got to give Crawford at 38, being able to do what he did, moving up the 2 weight classes and beating even that version of Canelo, to me is still impressive.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would agree with that. Let me just stop here. I just got let's see here in the chat. My cousin Michael. Hey, Eric, sorry to interrupt. Your cousin, wish your cousin Sue a happy birthday. Sue Strong, happy birthday. We love you, man. We miss you.
Happy birthday, Sue.
There we go. All right.
That's nice.
That's very nice, man. It's just very nice. All right. So let's talk about this pay-per-view for a minute here.
Yeah,
this pay-per-view was $75, Beeb.
Yeah.
It was $75.
And I'm going to be honest. If this was just a regular card that wasn't pay-per-view, it wouldn't be that bad of a card. It would be okay.
Right.
I don't think it was
it was a regular card.
Yeah, it would be acceptable, right? But when you put a $75 price tag on it, and then people who have Amazon Prime have to pay for that too. Most people that have Amazon Prime have Amazon. I mean,
yeah.
Amazon Prime Video.
Just put it on Prime Video. It doesn't need to be pay-per-view. These aren't pay-per-view fights.
And here's the thing too. When they signed that deal with Amazon Video, we weren't expecting every single fight to be pay-per-view. And shout out to Rick Glazer, because that's what he said. He said this was going to be a pay-per-view. Happy birthday, Sue Strong. Yeah. Yeah, he said that they were just essentially going to be doing pay-per-views over at Amazon, and I didn't believe him, but he ended up being right.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. That's all they're going to do is $75, and that's their price point, $75. It's not coming down, because if they charge $75 for this, I mean, every fight's going to be $75.
Yeah, and again, we saw Top Rank and Golden Boy. Now they're over at DAZN, and now you got Queensberry and Matchroom over there, and you got Eddie Hearn, who has some American fighters like Boots Ennis. The DAZN is still not a great deal at $45 a month, but it's more palatable now that Top Rank is there, because Top Rank's got a lot of good fighters.
$45 a month?
I know.
Dude, 45?
But at least it's somewhat palatable, because you have Keyshawn Davis, you got Chushu Carrington, you got
well, they got to fight some people.
You got Navrete.
It can't just be, you know.
You got all those young guys that they have over there at Top Rank, and those champions. You got Xander Zayas. So again, they got a great stable. Now, if they could mix and match with Golden Boy and mix and match with Matchroom and Queensberry, then that'll be even better. There should be no excuse. There should be no excuse now. I'm listening to Samson last night with that. These fights if they want to fight Sebastian, it's gonna be on PBC.
That guy is terrible.
You don't have the leverage, because all the other major promoters are on DAZN, and then you got Zuffa over at Paramount Plus. Like, you don't have the leverage, and most of those PBC guys are leaving anyways, going over to Zuffa, and some of them are going over to Pro Box.
Right.
So that whole stable over there of fighters has been shrinking exponentially over this last 2 years or so.
Yeah, it's not good.
People want to be put on the shelf.
Who do they have? Charlo? Who do they got? Charlo? Who else?
Well,
Charlo's not even. They're not even
active. The
Charlo
brothers and Tank Davis have been on the shelf.
Oh yeah.
And now David Benavidez, he's fighting on DAZN too. And who knows what's going to go on with him in his career, if he's going to stay with Samson or not. Like, we're hearing rumors that he may be leaving Samson. Again, it's not verified, but him going over to DAZN when Samson was on this channel, when I was interviewing him, and saying, "Oh well, if they want to fight David, they got to fight on Amazon Prime and PBC." Well, that's not the case, because they fight. He's fighting Zerto over in friggin' DAZN. So again, and even Gabby Fondora, she fights on DAZN too, because she's promoted by Golden Boy. So,
they have to. They're going to have to cross the street, as they like to say.
They just don't have. Samson does not have the leverage. PBC fighters do not have the leverage. They just don't.
Yeah, they don't at all. And let me tell you what, those announcers last night were terrible. They got to get rid of Mauro Ranallo. They do, man. Listen,
he's the nicest guy in the world, but he's just not good.
He's not that great. Yeah, he's not that great. Listen, if he wants to do those little one-liners that he does, do them once a show. Do it like once a fight or once a show.
Yeah, the whole
I don't need every round to have something stupid thrown at me.
Yeah, the whole broadcast is like a stand-up comedy routine.
Right, and it's not funny.
It's just
not funny.
It's not fucking Star Search.
No.
And
like I said, it's, and he does this constantly through every round of every fight. And it's okay to have a couple catchphrases, but come on, man.
No, he's killing it.
He's killing it. The pacing was bad. I was watching I just turned it to the basketball game. I was watching the hoops last night, the NCAA, because it just wasn't exciting. It wasn't. There was nothing keeping you there.
Eric,
the pacing was horrible.
I'm not just saying this either because you said it. I tuned out too, and I jumped back on for the last two fights.
I didn't jump on. Yeah,
I was getting bored. I really was.
Bad.
It wasn't a great undercard.
No, and not to mention, again, the pacing of the card was bad. The only good part about it was it didn't come out off at midnight like some of the other ones do.
No, you're right. You're right.
It was actually over fairly early. So
wasn't that bad?
Yeah. The undercard, the co-main, Yoenis Tellez versus Brian Mendoza. Tellez wins by unanimous decision, 98-92 and 97-93 twice. Again, not that great, right?
Yeah, it was a decent fight, but again, there was a lot of lulls in the action. Mendoza.
It sounds like a lot of people liked it. Card was solid. Mendoza was okay. PBC card was great.
It was okay. I mean, but the I only really enjoyed like the the last two fights. Like I thought the Mendoza fight was okay. I thought the main event was okay, but it was just so one-sided. And again, it's not the fighter's fault, I guess. I mean, even on paper, it was kind of a one-sided fight, but not that one-sided, right? And when they were throwing names at Fondora at that post-fight press conference, and I listened to listening to friggin' Samson chime in like with that other side of the street bullshit. Like, I was like, oh no, are we gonna do this again? Are we really gonna do this again?
You never know what you get with Samson. Yeah, I mean, you really don't.
Because these PBC guys, they've been programmed to just have this certain mentality that I'm just gonna fight PBC guys, and if someone wants to fight me, they got to come over here. It's changing a little bit, but you still have some hardliners over there, And shout out to David Benavidez because he fought on a Riyadh season card. Now he's fighting on he's fought on DAZN once. Now he's going to be fighting on DAZN again. So I'm glad he's taking charge of his career because some of these other guys are not. And again, I'm not a manager. I mean, I'm not saying I'm the be all end all with this stuff, but we're just seeing when Crawford became a free agent. We're seeing when Shakur became a free agent. Devin Haney's done pretty well for himself being a free agent. And if this Golden Boy deal is what it seems to be, and this Top Rank deal is what it seems to be, meaning that they're not exclusivity deals. So that's huge. If Top
is
Rank,
that what the Golden Boy deal is? Is it not exclusive?
From what I've heard, it's not an exclusivity deal either, and it's not even a guaranteed dates. Like with Top Rank, they have to guarantee the zone, like I think 12 shows or something like that. Golden Boy, they don't even it's not even a guaranteed. They're not even guaranteed dates. So
they're not even expecting much from him.
they're like, okay, we'll use you. We'll use you when we can. In other words, like know what I mean. So the fact that these deals are not exclusivity deals, that means that there's going to be a lot of leeway for these fighters at Top Rank and Golden Boy to go wherever they need to go.
Yeah.
Right.
So. I mean, yeah. There you go. Terrell Gausha versus Yoenli Hernandez. Hernandez wins by 4th round KO. Kind of sad, man. Terrell Gausha he was Olympian, wasn't he? Gausha was.
He was, but Olympian. He didn't medal. He didn't medal, but he was.
But he was an Olympian, yeah.
He didn't make the squad.
The thing is, man, especially with Olympic fighters, either they make the adjustments or they don't make the adjustments. You know what I mean? Yeah. Sometimes but you can see it in the Olympics who's going to make that jump. And you could see it in their first 3 or 4 fights who's going to make that jump. Because not everybody that comes out of the Olympics is going to be a good pro. And you can always see it because you'll see them. They'll adapt to the style or they won't. Because again, essentially, they're 2 different sports. They really are.
They are. Yeah. And you don't like when I tell you this, but I've just never been I've never been a fan of amateur boxing. I just don't like.
How dare you? What do you mean you haven't been you don't even watch the Olympics? You are so unpatriotic.
The last time I watched the Olympics is when Andre Ward was in them.
That was the last time we won a gold. That was the last time we won a gold.
I was always high on Andre Ward. And
we knew he would be something coming out. Yeah.
Yeah, when they put the headgear on and they made the bigger gloves and they changed the rules and now they changed the rules back. I'm just not a big fan. Like I don't like watching a 3-round fight. It's just me. And it sounds horrible because amateur boxing is very important in the development of fighters, right? So yeah, I just never been
casual.
A fan.
You straight up casual. Straight up casual.
I've just never been a fan. I'll watch it once in a while. Like if I have friends that I know are in tournaments, like I used to watch Richie LaMontagne because he actually he's from Everett, Mass. I graduated with him, and he won the nationals. I saw a few of his fights. Watched his brother was in the novice class. For me to watch amateur fights, I have to know somebody. I don't like amateur boxing. I like pro boxing better.
I'll tell you what, man. It's my favorite time of year is always the Summer Olympics.
You love the
every
Olympics.
4 years, and I will watch every fighter in there. Yeah, especially now with the internet, and you can, everything is right there. I will watch them. I'll be up at 2 a.m. watching them. It's crazy. It's like my favorite time of the year.
Yeah, and even the Olympic basketball I'm not even crazy about, because
I hate Olympic basketball.
I don't know, man.
It's not the same. It's not the same.
I like the Winter Olympics. Like, I actually like watching female. Like, the only female, there's two female sports that I really like to watch: female hockey and female MMA. And
you pay for those on OnlyFans, or
they're doing OnlyFans commercials on DAZN now. Did you see that?
no?
On DAZN, they're doing OnlyFans commercials. Like they have like a lot of like
That's insane.
a lot of people from entertainment and even athletics are on OnlyFans now.
But they're not all like OnlyFans. Like
No.
you know.
I think the owner of OnlyFans died. Did you hear about that? The owner,
Yeah, I heard about that. That guy died.
He was young too.
Yeah, he was like 40-some years old.
Yeah, what a tragedy, right?
It's crazy.
Yeah, but it's crazy because when you say OnlyFans, and I laugh because for the most part you are correct. It's mostly a bunch of girls,
Right. That's all
right?
it is.
But that's not all it is. But that's predominantly what it is. But
Well, when you think of OnlyFans, what do you think of?
There is a subset though of people like athletes and entertainers on
That
there.
don't all take their clothes off and perform. Then I
And you
guess
see,
okay.
like, you see like guys like Boots Ennis, they'll have like the OnlyFans like logo on their shorts. Like fighters like.
I don't mind that. Like I said, I don't, because he's getting paid, you know? I mean, but if he has an OnlyFans site, why would you join a Boots Ennis OnlyFans site?
And then you got a girl. There's like one girl on there. All she does is show her feet, but people like pay her so much fucking money, and I'm like, again, listen.
How
Everyone
much
has
you pay for that? For real? How much you pay for that?
I went out
You
to
pay for
dinner.
that?
No, listen. I went out to dinner with my sister and like a birthday party, and there was this girl there. She's like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, that. And this one girl on OnlyFans that has like they makes all this money with showing her feet. I'm gonna do that, and I'm like, good luck. Like people really think like that these outliers, that they could do what these outliers do on there. That's why there's you have so many people on there that don't really make a lot of money, but they have dreams. They
got dreams.
They got dreams. Like, I mean,
I got dreams.
All I'm saying
Let
is,
me take my clothes off on OnlyFans. I got dreams too.
You got to shoot a little higher than that. But who am I? Who am I to tell you what to do? I mean,
Hey,
I'm not
listen, if you can make
Sebastian
money doing it, do it. I don't know.
I'm not compassion morality. I have my favorite honey dips.
Honey dips. Oh, man. All right, so guys, if you like the channel, you like what we're doing, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. It helps us out. It helps us out in the algorithms and everything like that, and all the search engines and all that. So thank you so much.
Hit the like button.
Yeah, that's right. On DAZN, the Magnificent Seven.
This was not a bad card either.
No, it wasn't too bad. Moses Itauma versus Jermaine Franklin. Moses Itauma beats Jermaine Franklin via KO in the 5th round. That uppercut that he hit Franklin with looked like a cartoon. Franklin just dropped. Seriously, it looked like a video game. You've seen it. You've seen the uppercut, and you've seen him and how slow he felt and everything. Oh,
those are what you call scary knockouts. When someone's like face first.
Yeah. He was out. He was out as soon as he got hit. He was out. Out cold, man. Listen, man, Itauma looked good, man. I know Jermaine Franklin's been around the block, and I know he looked out of shape last night. Franklin did. But Itauma did exactly what he was supposed to do with a guy like that, and he got rid of him early, right? Yeah. Franklin was never in the fight. He never let him in the fight. What is he, 14-0 now or 18-0?
I can't remember. But
Doesn't matter. Because I think he does need a few more fights.
Yeah.
But then after that, I'd say about 2-3 more fights. Get him up to 18 or 19. Okay, then I would say get him up to 17 or 18. Get him 4 more fights, and then it's time. Then I think he's going to be ready. You're going to step his competition up slowly at this point because he's knocking out everybody.
Frank Warren is like Bob Arum in the sense that he's really good at building fighters too. Yeah,
he really is.
And it seems like him and George Warren are doing a great job with this young man because they're moving him steadily along, and they're getting him the right fights. And I agree with you. It's going to be easy and very tempting for him to want to jump into a title fight because he's ranked #1, I think, by the WBO, and I think I want to say the IBF, and the WBO came out and said, we're going to make him the mandatory, right? So, does he beat a guy like Fabio Wardley right now?
I don't think you want to put him in there with Fabio Wardley right now. He does need a little bit more seasoning. I think he needs some more seasoning.
Can I be honest with you though?
The guys he's fighting aren't exactly killers.
No,
right?
I think he could beat Fabio Wardley.
I think he's capable of beating anybody.
I know what you're saying, but
yeah.
I don't necessarily think like maybe after 2 more fights, a Fabio Wardley fight is that bad. I mean, that's just how I see it. Because I like Fabio Wardley. Don't get me wrong.
I do too.
But he's very beatable. He's very beatable.
What about Anthony Joshua?
Yeah, Moses Itauma. I think that would be a tough fight for Anthony Joshua right now.
That would be a very tough fight for Anthony Joshua right now.
We don't like to do combat math. It never works. But
never works.
Anthony Joshua did not look good against Moses Itauma in comparison to what we saw last night.
From what we saw last night, and he was patient. He was patient at times with that guy.
He was measuring him, and you know what the great thing he does, and this is what the great fighters do, is he camouflages that left hand. You can't see it coming. He really knows how to, use that jab as a way of camouflaging that backhand, and he can just sneak that left hand right behind that right jab. The way he's like that with it, like he'll lull you to sleep sometimes with that jab, right? Throw it just like as a feeler. Sometimes he'll pop it, but he'll just boom, 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 and then he tucks that left hand like it's like his elbow is like right here, and he's just like boom. Even when he throws the uppercut, his elbow is like right here. It's like boom. There's no flare or there's no pullback torquing motion with these shots. These shots are like they're coming out like fucking darts,
Yeah.
So
you know what I noticed him last night is varying the speeds of his punches.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like
slow,
with the jab,
and he would
with
go
the jab.
fast. Yeah. The speeds.
It's like you know who used to do that? Vladimir Klitschko was really good at doing that.
He was very good at that.
He was like a snake charmer with the jab where he'd just be like boom, 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 and then boom, you know what I mean? Boom, 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 boom. And you had to guess when the fastball was coming. You know what I mean? It's a really good talent.
Destro says, how was his chin? We don't know. We don't know. That's a good one. I mean, but that's the thing. That's why I think he needs to step up slow.
No, you're right. What you're saying is not wrong. I mean, if you're a manager, you'd want that type of attitude, right?
Do you think he could beat Dubois, the quitter, according to you, Beeb? You know how you always calling Dubois a quitter. You're always calling him a quitter. Never. I was the one that gave him I was the one that believed in him. I don't think he's ready for Dubois just yet. What about you?
Yeah, I would wait a couple fights for.
I would wait a couple fights for that one. Yeah.
Who do you think's gonna win, Dubois or Wardley? I actually like Dubois in that fight. But if you tell me Wardley, if you say Wardley, it's not a crazy pick. It's not crazy to pick Wardley in that fight. I just lean towards Dubois in that fight. You know,
I don't know. I think it's a close fight. It's a pick 'em fight. I lean toward Wardley.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna pick Dubois in that fight by knockout.
Yeah, I think Wardley, but it just depends on which Dubois shows up too. This guy's another head case where you don't know which guy is going to walk in that ring.
I'm going to be honest with you. I was so disappointed in that second Usyk fight. I know how great Usyk is. Don't get me wrong. He's a phenomenal fighter. But I was just expecting more out of Dubois. Maybe I was being a little bit too optimistic, but I was expecting more out of Dubois.
You never know which one is going to show up. Sometimes he comes out and he looks great.
You're right.
He looks unbeatable. And he's done this through his entire career, by the way. He did this before Joe Joyce. There was no way Joe Joyce was going to beat that guy. If you looked at both of those guys, you're like, yeah, that guy wins 100%.
Well, he was winning the fight too, Eric. He was winning the fight.
What about Itauma versus Zhang? I think that's the fight.
Perfect fight.
I think that's a perfect fight.
Perfect fight.
There you go.
Perfect. Who said that?
M-Easy Box.
M-Easy Box. Shout out to you. That you'd be a great matchmaker.
Matchmaker, yeah, for sure. Boxing says that facts. Beeb called Dubois a quitter, 100%.
Oh, you guys.
We've seen it. We heard it. We've got the tape.
I have video.
I've got video too. that shows otherwise.
I FaceTimed Daniel after the fight, and I told him.
FaceTimed Daniel.
I told him to keep his. I told him to keep his head up.
There's a good one. Itauma versus Joseph Parker. That's a good one.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
And Eric Parker, Justice Hooney, they were winning both their fights against Wardley before they got stopped. Both of them were.
Yeah.
Both of them were. And again, I'm not taking anything away from Wardley, but he's beatable. He loses rounds. So
he does. I mean, and like I said, in Dubois, we've seen him box like brilliantly in there. And then you see him again, and he's totally outmatched.
Yeah. Even that Kevin Lorena fight, like he was struggling a little bit early on in that fight.
Yeah.
I think he hurt his knee in that fight too.
Don't get it. I don't get it, man. He's too wishy-washy for me. You don't know which one you're going to get.
No, I agree.
So at that point, I'd have to go with Wardley. But it wouldn't shock me if he won the fight. Would not shock me at all.
You're right.
Oh, Eurobum. That's not nice. Come on.
I hate that term.
We're better than that.
We don't need to use that term anymore in 2026. Now that we have DAZN and we have the beauty and luxury of being able to watch all these fighters from overseas, we need to show them respect.
Beauty and luxury. Itauma versus Ajagba. That's a good one too. That's a really good one.
Yeah, that's a good one. It's a tough one. What about your buddy Jared?
What?
Jared Anderson.
Jared Anderson's not ready for that yet. Yeah, if I was Jared Anderson, just stay on the sideline for a minute. Yeah, he's not ready for that yet.
Oh, God.
Yeah, we saw him. He got taken apart. Has he fought since then? I don't think he's fought since then.
Yeah, I don't know.
He was in like some sparring and stuff like that, but that's it. I don't think he has.
I don't know.
Hold on, let me see it. Jared Anderson, let me go to BoxRec real quick. Did you know BoxRec doesn't do WBA anymore?
Yeah.
They stopped covering them?
I heard about that.
I forgot about that, man. That was like 2 years ago.
Yeah. I think it's stupid.
Yeah, he fought in 2025. Marios Colias. I don't even remember that fight.
Yeah.
Went to a unanimous decision, and then he's set to fight Solomon Dakers on May 9th.
Wow.
Yeah.
You probably know about this, but him and Top Rank and Frank Warren, they're co-promoting him now, so he's going to be fighting on Queensberry shows now too. You heard that, right?
I think that's interesting. They picked him up.
Yeah, and that's another thing where Frank Warren and Bob Arum, like Frank Warren does it differently than Eddie Hearn. Back in the day, he used to like work with Don King and co-promote a lot of fights with Don King. Now he's kind of doing that a little bit with Top Rank. Instead of doing what Eddie's doing and trying to wear so many hats at once, this guy he utilizes the American promoter because he knows that a promoter like Top Rank is well established in the United States. So you might as well use that.
Yeah, I would agree. The co-main last night was Willy Hutchinson versus Ezra Taylor, light heavyweights. Hutchinson wins 99-91 twice and 98-92.
It's pretty one-sided, but it was fun while
Yeah, fun fight.
It wasn't horrible.
No. And then Liam Davies versus Francesco Grandelli, correct?
Yes.
And Davies won by 6-round TKO there.
Yeah, and he was losing the fight too. Pulled a rabbit out of the hat there.
All right, let's go to the upcoming fights here. That was it for this weekend's action. So next week, Easter weekend, April 4th. What is April 4th? Is that Friday or Saturday?
Let me see.
It's got to be Saturday, right?
The 4th is April 4th is actually a Wednesday. No, I'm sorry.
Oh.
April 4th is a Saturday. I apologize.
All right, there we go. All right, April 4th from London on DAZN. Deontay Wilder versus Derek Chisora, 12 rounds heavyweights. Vidal Riley versus Mateusz Masternak, 12 rounds cruiserweights. And that'll be on Friday. Before we go any further, Beeb, let's talk about this fight here. This is one you have mixed emotions about because I don't want to see either one of these guys fight because I think they're really past their primes.
Yeah.
That being said, though, this is a pretty fun fight. This will be a fun fight while it lasts. I don't think it goes any. I don't think it goes any amount of rounds. I think somebody gets knocked out early here, and I think it's probably going to be Deontay Wilder.
I think Wilder's going to get wrecked.
Yeah, I think Derek Chisora has been more active. He's been busier, and I'll tell you what, he's looked a lot better in his fights than Wilder has lately.
Sure has. I'm going with Derek Chisora by knockout in this fight.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that's a pretty solid.
This should be the last time we see. Again, I don't wish any bad on him, but I think this will be the last time we'll see him in the ring.
I think so too. I hope so. I hope it's the last time we see either one of them. To be honest, because like I said, man,
I think Chisora. This is going to be his last fight. I think he said that. He's retiring. Okay. Chisora did say, I think he's retiring after this fight, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, good. Then he should. They both should. Yeah. I hope. I don't want to see either one of them again because they're both too close to. I don't know, man. They've been knocked out a few times. It's just not. Yeah.
Derek Chisora has got a good 3-fight win streak. He's beat Gerald Washington. He beat Joe Joyce. He beat Otto Wallin. Those are 3 decent victories, man.
Very good. Yeah, I agree.
So
April 4th from Cardiff, Wales on DAZN. Lauren Price versus Stephanie Aquino. 10 rounds for Price's WBC, IBF, and WBA welterweight titles. It looks like it's an all-girls card there. Who is promoting that, Beeb?
Lauren. That could be a boxer card. Ben Shalom.
Ben Shalom, I got you.
Yeah, because Lauren Price is with Ben Shalom, I believe.
And April 5th, ESP on the ESPN app in London, Caroline Dubois versus Terry Harper, 10 rounds for Dubois' WBC women's lightweight and Harper's WBO women's lightweight title. There you go. On Amazon Prime Video on April 5th, Sam Goodman versus Rodrigo Ruiz, 12 rounds, junior featherweights. The key matchup on that card is going to be Tim Tszyu versus Dennis Nerja, 10 rounds, middleweights.
And that one's not a pay-per-view?
No.
Okay.
No, Amazon Prime Video, so yeah.
That's the one fight that's not on pay-per-view that they've done this year. That's the first fight.
Isn't that crazy?
Isn't that insane? How do you go forth with this model, this business model, and think it's good? It's going to work.
I don't know. I don't know, man.
I don't understand it. No one's buying these pay-per-views.
Paramount Plus on April 5th, Las Vegas. This is Zuffa. So that would be Andres Cortez versus Erickson Garcia, 10 rounds lightweights. Mark Magsayo versus Fergal McCrory, 10 rounds lightweights. And Azat Hovhannissian versus Eduardo Baez, 10 rounds featherweights. So that's the Zuffa card. And while they're not marquee, but what we have noticed about Zuffa is their matchmaking has been pretty good so far, no?
I would say yes, yeah. They have a good matchmaker over there.
Yeah, and they've all been like fairly entertaining fights. So yeah, I think that's been pretty good.
Yeah.
There you go. Let's bring on Robert here. Robert, you're live.
Hello, guys. How are you?
What's going on, Robert?
How are you guys?
Good. How are you?
What's up, Barbarino?
All right. What about Moses Itauma after the fight? He called out Filip Hrgović.
Yeah, and I listen, man. I hope it works, but is that fight going to take place? Do you like that fight, Robert?
Well, no, because Hrgović is going to be fighting Dave Allen in May.
Right, which is why he couldn't call out Hrgović.
Well, no. When they ask him after the fight, well, who do you want to fight next? That's the first name he mentioned.
Who, Moses Itauma?
So,
yeah.
Did he? I don't think he said that. Robert.
He did say Hrgović. He said Hrgović, but he said his dance card was full or something along those lines.
Did he mention Hrgović? Oh, he did mention Hrgović. He did. You're right. He did.
Yeah, he said I wanted the Hrgović fight next, but he's busy with Dave Allen, so now I have to wait. So.
Did you pay for the Keith Thurman fight last night?
Absolutely not. I'm not paying $75 for that garbage.
He bought it, didn't he?
First of all,
come on.
Be honest. You told me to hit the send button on that, and I did what you asked me to do.
No, I did not buy that garbage.
You bought
I did not buy that garbage.
What did you think of the fight?
Nope. I didn't watch it, so I can't tell you.
He's a liar.
You liar.
But I do have a serious question, guys. Isn't PBC about ready to go out of business? I mean, it looks like everybody's leaving.
We've been saying that for the last 2
years, man.
And they haven't, so.
Well, who's going to stick around, though, to put up with? Well, you're only going to fight Sebastian on Prime Video, pay-per-view. You're not going to. I mean, if I'm Fondora, I take control of my career and I do what David Davies and several other people have done. They know where to fight at, you know. I mean, these shows that they have on Prime Video are absolutely ridiculous. $75, $80 a pop when DAZN is putting most of the fights on, and now you have Zuffa putting their cards on. And I'm sure when Zuffa gets more established, they're going to put on more than one card a month. When they get more established, that's going to. If I'm a PBC fighter, I get the hell out of Dodge. I really do.
The hell out of Dodge.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah. So, and as far as next week goes, I think it'll be a first round knockout. Zora will knock out Wilder, and that's the last we ever see of him. And Derek did say that after he fights this fight, he is going to retire. So
I hope so, and I hope he's true to his word. But I mean, think about it. If he goes out and blows out Wilder, you think he'll get another fight? You know what I mean? You know how promoters are.
Yeah, well,
like,
I know he'll be. I know he'll be offered another fight. But, you know, we'll see what happens.
Who do you think wins, Robert Claressa Shields or Keith Thurman?
Oh God.
Oh, I think Claressa beats these garbage out of Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman should not fight anymore.
I agree. I would agree with that. All right, Robert, we're going to get running. We're going to put you back on hold.
We'll see you.
They bring you on here. All right. Let's go to 929 New York. 929, you're live.
Joe, Eric, what's up? This is Virtuoso. So,
hey, what's happening, man?
What's up, man?
Chilling, man. I'm just procrastinating watching this Queensberry card, man. Trying to get to this thing, but yeah, it was fairly all right, man. I like some of the fights there, especially, you know, I didn't get to see Willy Hutchinson and Ezra Taylor, but I heard it was a good fight. I'll check that out sometime. But let me just get this out of the way. Keith Thurman, this ass whooping, right? I actually nicknamed him like Keith about damn time he got his ass whooped Thurman, because this thing was in the makings for 7 years, man. The way he's been handling his career, it's almost like he was prolonging the inevitable. I always knew that he had a ceiling in terms of talent, you know, because like just by the way he reacts to certain fights that, you know, were a bit of a threat to his stardom, you know, and his ascendancy to the top. I think the Pacquiao fight was the only chance he had at the I would say the Hall of Fame conversation, the debate that, you know, in order for you to win, you got to beat an all-time great, you know, and people will consider you such if you could prolong that success. But he wasn't been able to because, you know, I guess the injuries, and I really feel like he really had, you know, a complacency and was risk averse, you know. So that's why he moved the way he moved for the last 7 years, only fighting like 3 times. And he could have put out Barrios, you know, Moses Itauma was giving him trouble. This is not like Hall of Fame type of stuff. You're circling against those guys. You know what I mean? And this fight showed that he's just not what people say he is. You know, I've always felt that way about him. You know, he's good, but I don't think he's just good enough. I really don't. I'm sorry to say that, but
the fact that he I'm sorry to cut you off, but the fact that he was in a division that had Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford in it,
everybody,
and he
that
didn't
division was stacked.
He didn't see either one of those guys when at least Danny Garcia fought Spence. You know, like Danny Garcia fought Spence, he fought Thurman, he fought Sean Porter. Like, you know, you got Thurman, he fought Danny Garcia and he fought Sean Porter, but he didn't fight Crawford or Spence. So again, it's hard to, you know, to look at Keith Thurman's career and say, did he do everything he could have done? And obviously I would have to say no.
No. Which is why, you know, people look at that fight with rose-tinted glasses thinking he was you know, they were just resting on his laurels. Like, Fondora is hot right now. Like, yeah. Like, he has been knocked out before, but Keith has never fought as the super welterweight. This is, how do you go from a Brock Jarvis fight to a championship fight? It doesn't make sense. I wanted him to fight, Virgil Ortiz, just to get that out of the way and build up that fight, against Boots, who's about to fight Xander. Things are advancing, and Fondora is just trying to go through the motions, keeping up with the Joneses, trying to fight these guys that are now gatekeepers, like Earl Spence, the Charlo brothers. Like, nah, man, we got to see this guy unified. And but he's not giving up that vibe that he wants to be undisputed, because Samson, and the PBC is putting the batteries on his back. They want to go to this tour of I guess, past their prime, fighters. And it's like, I don't know what to do with this. I really can't. If they go under, it's fine. It was their own doing, But listen, I want to say real quick, before I go, Moses Itauma is the truth, man. I think this guy is parting the Red Sea called the heavyweight division. This guy is it. I may be overreacting to him, knocking out, Franklin, shout out to him, but he's never been knocked out, never been put down, and that skill set he brings, it's similar to Usyk, but he has that power to go along with it. And that's a very deadly combination. The way he moves, the way he uses that jab to hide that backhand, like you say, that really is an effective weapon. And I would say he would get Dubois problems, because like that was what gave him problems in this league match against Usyk, was that jab. He doesn't prepare for that. It's another punch coming that he's not going to be ready for, because he also has that quickness. So yeah, man.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, my friend. Man. Thanks for calling in, man. We appreciate it. We're going to get running. He's right. He's 100% right.
Yeah, he's right.
And it's been in the making. He's had as many chances as he's had, right?
Mm-hmm.
Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford. That division was stacked. Even had Mikey Garcia. You had who else? That division was stacked, though. You had everybody in there.
Keith Thurman, Sean Porter. You had
Sean Porter. That's right. Yeah.
Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence.
Never fought any of the big ones. I mean, like I said, he fought the Sean Porter one. That was razor thin, by the way.
Ugas was pretty decent too. I don't think he didn't fight him. Ugas.
I don't think he did either.
No, Ugas. So, and then the inactivity was.
That's what kills you. To me, that's what killed him, is the inactivity.
Kell Brook was another one too. He's a good fighter too. But, people can say what they want about Errol Spence. Like he at least he fought everybody.
What about Kell Brook? You know what I mean? That's another one.
Yeah.
That you could have fought. I mean, that would have been an easy fight to make.
Kell Brook fought even Kell Brook. Kell Brook fought Spence. He fought Porter.
Triple G. He fought everybody.
He fought everybody, man.
He was right.
Shout out to him.
So let me ask you this. Does he get into the Hall of Fame?
No,
I don't think he gets in the Hall of Fame. I wouldn't vote him in.
And I don't mean I don't think he's a bad fighter, but and I don't want people. Arturo Gatti got in. It doesn't matter. Like Arturo Gatti got in because he was a multi-weight world champion. Not only that,
Arturo Gatti did not deserve to be in there.
He had memorable fights. Like everyone gets in for different reasons. People voted Arturo Gatti in because he had memorable fights.
I think they voted him in because he's no longer with us.
Wow, that's really cold to say that.
Tell me when I'm telling lies. I'm telling you, if you look at his resume versus everybody else in that hall.
You could say he fought everybody. You could say he fought everybody, but he didn't beat everybody. So just because you fought everybody.
Would you say he has the weakest resume in the hall?
I have to be honest with you.
You got to be honest, right?
His resume's not that great.
His resume's not that great. I told you. There we go.
It's one thing having the names on your record.
Yes, but you have to beat some of those names.
But you have to beat some. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, if that was the case, who's the Darnell Boone would be in the Hall of Fame if that was the case. Because
they did an HBO Legendary Night series on him and those Mickey Ward fights.
They were good fights, no question.
You'll hear they named an analogy after Arturo Gatti. They'll say, this looks like Mickey Wood versus Arturo Gatti. You know what I mean? Like they
I get that.
Like a Hagler, like Hagler Hearns. This is another Hagler Hearns. Like people will say,
Should the trilogy be in the Hall of Fame? Yes. Should those two be in the Hall of Fame? No.
Mickey Ward, I don't think he didn't get in.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Should the fight be in the Hall of Fame? Yes.
Yeah.
Because I know the UFC does that with fights. They and that's what they should do with. That's what they should do.
UFC does that?
Yeah, they do that with fights. Like this fight is in the Hall of Fame. This is what boxing should do.
Yeah, I don't hate that.
I don't hate it either, because that way I could stomach him going into the Hall of Fame like that. Him going to the Hall of Fame off of merit doesn't work for me, because there was no merit there. Just is.
Yeah.
It's the way it is. News and rumors. First of all, if you guys like what we're doing, make sure to hit like and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us out. And again, it doesn't cost anything. I'm not asking you to work in a coal mine. Just hit a button. That's it. Like and subscribe. Xander Zayas, Beeb. Your boy, Xander Zayas, posted a video on social media of him signing a contract.
Yeah.
Much speculation seems to be pointing to a Boots Ennis fight.
Yeah.
Boots Ennis, Xander Zayas. Number one, is this what's going to happen?
Can I be honest with you?
Yes.
I'm about 70% that it's not going to happen. I just don't think it's going to happen.
What? Why?
I want to be
signed.
Wrong. He didn't say the name though, so I don't want to get too.
Who do you think he's getting ready to fight?
I don't want to get too excited. I get excited all the time. I don't want to. Again, how many times we get excited about these things and what happens? We get the rug pulled out from underneath us. Time, get that done right away. Get it down. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Why do you think it's going to happen?
Yes.
You do? You believe it?
100% I believe. It's going to be Boots Ennis and Xander Zayas.
Do you think he didn't mention Boots' name because he just kind of wanted to build up the anticipation? Is that why?
I think so. Yeah, I think the hype. They're both on the same platform now. It's an easy fight to make, and I believe it just got made.
And there's really no one else. No one else. There's really no one else for either guy to fight. Really, where people are going to be excited about it.
If Xander Zayas beats Boots Ennis, he'll be as big as Felix Trinidad in Puerto Rico. 100%.
As hyperbolic as that may sound,
right?
Yes.
Right. He would be huge in Puerto Rico.
Yes.
Never have to buy another meal or drink in his life, man. Because that guy.
And that Bad Bunny appearance was great for him.
It was.
Just his affiliation with Bad Bunny.
Yep.
Bad Bunny.
The Super Bowl. He was in the Super Bowl in this halftime show.
I started realizing and recognizing and knowing about Bad Bunny like maybe about a year ago, because I really didn't know a lot about him. And that guy is really popular. Really popular.
I only knew Bad Bunny through my dad. My dad knew who Bad Bunny was.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm dead serious. I knew about him years ago because Dad knew about him years ago.
Really?
He used to watch all the novellas and stuff like that on the Spanish channels. He used to watch all, but he also used to watch like the Entertainment Tonight on there and stuff. They got their own version.
Really? Okay.
So he knew all the stars out there. Yeah, and he knew all of that stuff. So he was the one that introduced me to Bad Bunny because I never knew about him.
Was your dad born in Mexico?
No, he was born in El Paso, but I think his grandparents were from Mexico. I think they were both from Chihuahua, I believe.
Did he speak fluent Spanish, your dad?
Yeah. In fact, he didn't. That was his first language. He didn't speak English until he was a little bit older.
Because when I heard him speak English, he speaks English perfectly.
Yeah.
He doesn't even have an accent.
Yeah. When he first went to school, he didn't speak any English. He was like an ESL student.
Do you speak Spanish at all, or very little?
I speak enough to get thrown out of a bar in Tijuana. That's about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I speak Spanish at a third grade level.
Floyd Mayweather gave an interview last night, said that the Pacquiao fight will be an exhibition.
Oh, stupid.
Given the fact that this fight is now an exhibition, I have even less interest in it than I did before.
That just ruined it.
Why would I want to see an exhibition of those two?
And Pacquiao was adamant about making it a real fight, too.
Yeah, so
so adamant about it, he really was pushing to make it a real fight.
So if it's not for a record, it's not for the undefeated mark or whatever, why are we going to watch it? What purpose would that serve?
This guy is so afraid of losing his O. If
he really is.
If he lost his O, I don't know what he would do. I really don't.
How much is it worth to you? That's what he's got to ask himself. Because from everything you and I have researched, and everything you and I have looked at and researched and everything, and you know how we research, man. We research that he's in hock right now. His money isn't, in
order, like if he was to liquidate a lot of things, he would be okay. But the fact is, the question is, can he liquidate everything?
Well, that's the other thing. I mean, you got all these cars, and it's great. But in this economy, when you got to pay $30,000 for an oil change on a Bugatti, who's going to want to pick that up?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So all the things, not all, but so many of the things this guy bought depreciate in value so greatly.
As soon as he drive them off the lot, right?
Yeah. Not only that, the jewelry is like...
Jewelry's the worst thing, yeah.
Unless you buy like watches, like certain Rolexes are nice, certain Cartiers are nice, and they may hold their value. But all these chains and shit, nah. The rings, diamonds, none of this shit holds its value. No. You're always going to get less than what you paid for it. Always. You can get lucky sometimes on a watch, but... Nah, you're not going to get lucky on I don't know.
Yeah. The IBF has officially stripped Jai Opetaia of his title.
Yeah.
Listen, I'll be honest with you, man. This is going to be their loss in the long run. This will come back to haunt them. I really believe that. I really do. Because you just stripped it off of a guy that's the best cruiserweight right now on the planet.
Yeah, I mean...
And that was dumb.
The transnational boxing rankings had him as champion. Boxer has champion.
Ring magazine's got him as champion. Yeah.
And listen, these guys can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
But we just give our opinions on what they do. And if they think taking the belt off of a guy like Jai Opetaia, the WBC thinks taking a guy off the belt like a guy Shakur Stevenson, when you're taking belts off of fighters who are universally recognized as the best in their division, I just don't see how that's good for boxing. That's my
How is it good for your organization?
Yeah, and
I mean, for real, like, how is it good enough for you guys?
Yeah, so this isn't me taking a side, or I don't like the sanctioning bodies. I don't.
I hate them. But this is kind of best for business, though, right?
But I accept the fact that they exist, and I understand that the fighters want to win these belts. So it's I'm not going to sit there and disparage any fighter. But when you have fighters who say I'll just win the belt and I'm going to vacate them, and then when people win belts, they vacate them right away or they get stripped. Like, these belts have value until they don't have value. People need these belts until they don't need these belts. If you put...
And I think we're getting to that point, I got to be honest, man.
Yeah, and we go through these periods of time where it's cyclical. Like, the people... Yeah. Like, undisputed wasn't a thing for the longest time. Like, people didn't care about it. Like, Floyd wasn't undisputed. Shane Mosley wasn't undisputed. Pacquiao wasn't undisputed. Cotto wasn't undisputed. Like, all the big money-making great fighters weren't undisputed. A lot of times they would either vacate or get stripped of titles all the time, right? But now, all of a sudden, because Crawford became undisputed, and after that, now it became a thing again. But if you give a fighter an option of fight for a belt or fight for the money, they're going to take the money every time.
90% of the time, right?
Yeah.
90% of the time, yeah.
At least 90% of the time, yeah.
Oscar De La Hoya says he regrets selling Ring Magazine. He did an interview with Ariel Helwani. De La Hoya states he regrets selling Ring Magazine because Turkey has basically removed the credibility from it.
Yeah.
He's going to have a hard time. I'm going to tell you what, that stupid clapback thing he does, he's going to have a hard time working with people this way forward. And not to mention, you got on the DAZN deal, which is, I think, partly owned by the Saudis as well, which is Turkey and his crew. Yeah. He's not doing himself any favors here.
You're right.
Not at all. Not at all. He also went on to trash Virgil Ortiz in his Clapback Thursday. He said basically he's never going to work with Rick Meridian, which is Virgil Ortiz's trainer. But as Meridian pointed out, he has other boxers in the stable, so he's going to have to work with him. And Meridian also pointed out, arbitration is coming. Maybe they side with you, maybe they don't. But my guess is they're going to take everything that Oscar's saying out in public. They're going to give it to that arbitrator, and I think he's got a case. I really do.
What's going to hurt, like you just said, and to piggyback off what you said, just to make it short and sweet, if you're saying that you do not want to work with a fighter's manager, that's a violation of the Ali Act right there. You can't be the manager and the promoter at the same time. You have to. The fighter has to be allowed to have representation. Has to be.
Yeah.
So for all you Muhammad Ali performative activists out there who want to just jump on your soapbox, no one's talking about this.
Yeah, I get it. Speaking of the Ali Act, you heard it passed, right? It passed a section of Congress or the House or something like that. It passed one of them.
It passed the House committee.
Now it's got to go to Congress. Who's it?
It may go right.
Or does it just go right to Trump's desk?
It could go right to the Senate.
The Senate, that's what it is. Okay, so it's got to go to the Senate.
The Senate. So,
and it'll pass the Senate. De La Hoya is going to be, I guess he's giving a speech there on Tuesday or some nonsense not in favor of the act. It doesn't matter. Listen, that thing is going through.
Well, it has bipartisan support. So
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it didn't. It is going through. Trump and Dana White, Turki al-Sheikh, they're all juiced in. It will go through. It doesn't matter what anybody says about it. It's going through.
It could be blocked if it didn't get the vote in the Senate, though.
Technically, but there's no way it's going to get blocked.
But it has bipartisan. It's been made. It's co-sponsored by a Democrat and a Republican.
You're not going to beat that.
It's overwhelmingly. It's got like 90% of approval from Congress. Like I think only 4 people voted against it. So
yeah, and that's why nobody's I mean, I think De La Hoya is going to go there and just give his
and what's it tell you when the only people who really care about this act passing are the promoters and the sanctioning bodies? Fighters don't care if this act passes. It doesn't affect them one way or the other. Right?
Even the Ali Act doesn't really affect them that much.
No.
I mean, it doesn't.
No.
It doesn't.
But the thing is these promoters they just don't want the competition, and these sanctioning bodies don't want to be deemed irrelevant.
Yeah,
you know?
I agree. Tank Davis, false imprisonment charge, Beeb, has been dropped. He's walking, right? He's going home now. Not exactly. According to TMZ, the false imprisonment charge has been dropped. However, the other 2 charges remain: misdemeanor battery and felony kidnapping. So, yeah, that's still not great. Not great. She did not drop anything. The charge got dropped, but there was 3 of them. So
I don't think the district attorney in Florida is going to drop the charges anyways. Like even if you don't press charges,
the fact that they had to go look for him. No, they're not dropping anything. The fact that you use manpower to go look for him, that ain't working.
That's a good point too. Yeah, they're not going to drop.
That's where he screwed up. Instead of turning himself in, paying the bond, and jumping out. Yeah. Now he ran. They had to go look for him. So now what? They're spending all this time, all this money looking for him and everything. They finally found him, and they're going to stick that case out.
Yeah.
There you go. He's still champion, by the way. Tank has fought twice in 3 years. WBA. How is that possible?
It's ridiculous.
Twice in 3 years?
Well, he's never fought a mandatory since he's won the title. He's had the title for 3 years.
It doesn't make any sense. Where's all the
performative
backlash here? Yeah. Where's all that at?
Where's all the activists? Yeah.
There it is. All right. In a hotly debated topic by Beeb and myself, Imane Khelif is prepared to fight and defend her title in the Olympics. Now, Beeb, this just came out yesterday. The IOC put the rules in place for women boxing and everything like that. What was her name? Lu Tin? Was it Lu Tin?
You had it. Lin Yu Ting took an androgen receptor test because if you do have the XY, the one DSD they are allowing you to have is if you have complete androgen insensitivity syndrome. So just so people know, they're not going to get all over Lin Yu Ting. She did what she was supposed to do, and she took an androgen receptor test after testing positive for the XY, right? Where it was confirmed she had the XY.
Yeah.
But an androgen, complete androgen insensitivity syndrome is when your cells cannot utilize the testosterone. So basically, they don't bind to the testosterone is virtually useless. She can't use the testosterone, so essentially she has female level testosterone because her cells don't respond to the testosterone. They don't bind. The testosterone is blind to her cells. So if Imane Khelif has this same condition, she will be allowed to compete as well, regardless of the XY. So this is the one DSD that is going to be allowed. So if you have Swire syndrome,
I think that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, if you have female level testosterone, then you could argue, people can argue bone density, muscle, whatever, but it is what it is. If this is the rules, this is the rules. You just roll with it. And I mean, it's not a hill. It's not a hill I'm willing to die on. You know what I mean?
What did you say before the show? 99% of XY chromosomes, if you have an XY chromosome, are considered male.
Like 99.7% technically.
But it's crazy to me that they're not all considered male. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's just, like I said, the subject, because when we start arguing about men and women, everything like that, and especially when it comes to stuff like this, and then you have the outliers here, it's really crazy. It's not just cut and dry. It's not like this is a man it's not the same thing.
Here's the issue with Imane Khelif though, because in a situation
out there.
In a situation like this with Lin Yu Ting, she essentially doesn't have to do anything because her testosterone is not being utilized.
It's not registering. Yeah,
so when you have someone like Khelif, who the evidence strongly suggests she may have alpha reductase deficiency, which is a syndrome where alpha reductase is an enzyme. And it's an enzyme that is used to convert DHT, dihydrotestosterone, to testosterone. And when you have that, your body doesn't convert to the DHT, to regular testosterone. So you still have like internal testicles, and you don't have a uterus, and your body still can create testosterone and utilize testosterone, which is why her coach said she's taking drugs to suppress her testosterone. So in a situation like that, it looks like it's going to be tough for her unless she has what Lin Yu Tin has, which the evidence suggests it's not the same thing. We have to. You can't say anything until she goes through all the testing.
If she's going to go through the testing and she gets tested and she gets cleared, it's all good.
If she has the XY and she takes the androgen receptor test, and the androgen receptor test is okay, then she did what she had to do. She took the test, and that's that. So
100%, I agree.
That's the way it's going to be.
Who do you think wins, Imane Khelif or Keith Thurman? Who do you think wins?
Right now,
Khalif's a gold medalist, man. Right
now, I think Khelif may win by split decision.
Now, 2028, I take Khelif all the way.
Yeah,
wins by knockout. But there you go.
But yeah, I mean, if people go through the testing and
not cut and dry,
and the IOC,
guys,
and the IOC lets them compete, then it is what it is. We got to accept that.
I agree.
You got to keep the politics out of it.
You know what I'd be curious of is how much are those gender tests?
Those are.
And you got to do that. And the only way if I had an athlete, the only way I would subject myself or anybody else to it is if. Like, who pays for that? Then everybody's got to be tested. Everybody.
I think
the archery pool, the basketball, all of them.
I think it's a swab test first.
But I'm thinking about the money part of it. Who's paying for that? And again, if you're going to subject yourself to this, then I want basketball players tested. I want every athlete.
Every Olympic athete's going to test.
That's a lot of money. A lot of money.
Yeah, so
everybody.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Once again, man, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel. Go ahead, Beeb.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, you're good.
It says that the forensic detailed Y chromosome testing can be done in between 250 and 800, but the standard Y chromosome test can be done for anywhere from in between 149 and 349. So that these tests, they're not a lot.
They're not bad, but I mean, it's got to add up when you look at the whole boxing squad.
It's not like a COVID test, but
I wonder if each country pays it.
I think the committee will probably do that.
I would think the committee would have to do that. No,
yeah, they'll do that.
They're paying all that money just to get there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I mean, really.
So yeah, let her do the testing, and whatever happens, happens. I mean,
that's it. That's all we can do.
People have to accept it. You can't, if like this young, this person, Lin Yuting, people got to accept it. She can't be harassed anymore because she did what she was asked to do.
Well, she's going to be harassed either way, I'm sure. She shouldn't be.
Well,
but
the thing is, and again, there'd probably be some backlash, but most of the backlash has been about Khelif, and this person has not been criticized that much, from what I understand. But
no, she was back in the Olympics. She definitely was.
There was some, but not to the level of Khelif. Like Khelif was really like,
which I don't understand, because I mean, I don't get it, but she was just dominant. I think that was the only reason. She was just dominant.
Yeah. Well,
so there you go.
Well, again, we have to see the result of the tests. That's all.
There you go. There you go. To my family, I'm told my entire family in Detroit is watching me tonight. So, Sue, happy birthday. And Mike K, Carrie, Sue, all of you guys up there, I love you guys and I miss you guys. That'll do it for this edition of Ringside Reporter. As always, you can catch Joe Habib on X at JHabib1 and find our YouTube channel at ringsidereporter.com. You can find me at Ringside73 on X. And guys, we will see you next week.